Okay, I have the microphone on. Just gotta go through a couple things here really quickly to make sure I have volumes turned off in the other places or I will get feedback. Anyway, very good evening to everyone. Glad you came and joined us for day 18 of the Icelandic volcano eruption. And it's actually kind of quieting down a little bit today, but we still have some very interesting stuff here. So right now we're looking at Bob and Bob Jr. I guess they've slowed some, and it is noticeable that the lava bed has seeded down a whole bunch. In other words, it's starting to cool a little bit and starting to settle. Yes, Kim, two-pronged is a... yeah, three-pronged can be a dessert fork as well. They're two-pronged for tuning. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, guys, as I was saying, with the main body has kind of dropped a little bit, and I guess it's kind of filling in all the holes, all the bubbles are starting to get out of it, that kind of thing. That's not saying that still has a bunch of existing lava tubes that have developed over time inside the main area of the spillage there. So anyway, I'm going to flip through the other views here. We'll go to the far view over on the other side, and we'll get into talking about directions here. And yesterday there was someone saying that I had my directions incorrect, and yes, actually, when I reviewed what I had said, yes, I did say things wrong. And I want to apologize for that, and I'll straighten that out today. So I am just like any other piece of science. Over time, it's self-correcting. So anyway, getting into some of this, I'll push the other guys live here so you can see what we're looking at. It's pretty good. And my title screen today, actually, we'll just pop that back on the screen for a second. And I thought that looked pretty good. And this is an aerial shot of the new fissure and how it's developed. And we'll get into that because I do have actually the video that was put up. And we're going to critique it a little bit. So let me see what I can come up with here. Okay, so as I mentioned about yesterday, that I may have boo-booed in the directions, I am going to bring our trusty original map into play and kind of throw that in so we can see it a little bit better as far as perspective. Now, the original, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Glendingaldalar. The original volcano in the valley that it filled up, right where you see the spout coming down from that tidal block there, telling you what how much capacity and so on in the name. That's about where that original camera was when we were looking at it, and that's somewhere right around here. Okay, and when we seen it, they actually were panning this way, looking in this area. So I had originally indicated that the crack was here somewhere. Well, I was a little bit off. It's actually a little further over. Okay, And from the looks of things, it's flowing down in through here and into this valley, and it's going to end up going into Merdalar, if I said that right. And I'm hoping I'm getting these things correct here. It's Lafelgar? No. I don't think so. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm trying to point this out, but just so you know, I did kind of boo-boo on the directions. And if we're looking here, north is up there. This is be east over here, of course. This is west and south underneath. So that should clear up any confusion as to what I was talking about. Hopefully, if that Lisa comes back, she can confirm that this is the right directions and that it's actually going down in that path. And we'll show you that in a second, because it does actually show that in the video that I've got. But for now, we're just going to get back here and look at what it actually is. So this shot is from a little further. I'm not exactly sure where they have placed this camera. The venting on the left top is actually our original volcano. The one on the top right is the fissure with the new lava flow that was flowing down into the coulee. Now the coulee that's down below here that we see on the bottom is actually just kind of a pass through, and we'll get to that right away in when I run that video. So it'll be interesting for you to see that. Let's just see how many people are here. Okay, there's about 20 people. Okay, welcome to those I haven't seen or typing or anything like that. I'm glad you joined us. And I am going to play an aerial video once I get it queued up here. And that will give us a little bit more of a view of what happened today, or actually or yesterday, with the let's see, we get that on here. Okay, I hope that, oh, I'm trying to find the right file here, so okay, I got to do something with that yet. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay, I'm working on editing things out here real quick. Okay, so we'll get to the video right now. So I'm going to push that one live, and we will actually watch this. So in the foreground is our original volcano, Bob as we call it, and the fissure off to the left-hand side there up on the top corner. And now we're switching to a view of just the fissure, and you can actually see it's not flowing back towards Bob as per se, but it's flowing down into the other valley. And this is the actual fissure here, and you'll see it as we pan down. You'll see what the first area is that this lava flow kind of filled up a little bit, and being called flow. Oh, okay. I don't know if it's called flow. Okay, they're running over that again. I'm just looking here to see the cues of. Okay, this was the original footage again. Because they popped back and forth a little bit. So anyway, this is back to the original guys, and I'm gonna split this again here and see if I can manipulate this a little bit better. We'll actually let it play. It's okay. But this is actually pretty good aerial photography. And I will leave a link down below. And here's the fissure coming on there. And you can see that first area. I'm actually going to see if I can stop that right there. Whoop, I stopped it in the wrong spot. Right there. Right in, whoops, I'm pulling my whole screen away here. How come my scribbler isn't working? Okay, clear that and we'll see if that'll work. Well, not working. Anyway, we're looking at that first black splotch that you see. The camera was down somewhere down there filming that area at first, or so I believe. I may be wrong with that, but anyway, we'll let this thing play on, and you can kind of see where it flows. So it is flowing into the adjacent valley, and it actually looks pretty darn good. And you can see the outflow there. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit with where it's going, and it is definitely heading northeast into the valley. And we'll re-look at the map here in a second, just so we know what we're looking at. Okay, and that should be about the end of it. And there's the map. So what I had originally drawn up was that it was further up. Okay, that I had it somewhere around here. But that's actually not the case. So it's flowing out, flowing in this area, and then coming into here now. So we're going to fill up the big pond, and hopefully that'll work out. So we'll go back to our volcano, and yeah, maybe the other one. There, we'll look at that. So if any of you have any questions or concerns or anything, go ahead and ask. Hey, yes, how you doing? Glad to see you. Who else popped in? Bill, 4393, also very happy to see you. Glad you came. Who else? Diane is here. Welcome. Barry is here. Welcome. And yeah, things are doing pretty good. So hopefully I've given some information here that's a little bit more helpful to try to understand where we're at with it. And seems to be doing fairly well. Now, I did notice that between the two, I think the volume may have increased a little bit, but you're seeing less output from the original two cones, and a little bit of a drop in the in that valley. So things are shrinking and cooling, or cooling and shrinking. I guess you need to do it in that direction. So it kind of really interesting as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just trying to find myself here so I can actually get back on my stream and see my stuff. Where am I? I don't know yet, Bill. I haven't found out. I am sure that it will grow pretty quick. The camera angle that we had originally, we don't have anymore, so I'm kind of relying on bits that other people have shot locally there, and maybe critique that and see. But we do have flow going, so if this does continue, it's going to take 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months to fill that valley, depending on how fast it goes. Yes, it does build fast, but it all depends on the flow rate. You know, if you have a valley that has 44 million cubic meters capacity, and you're putting 5 meters per second into it, it's going to take a little bit of time to fill that up. So you can do the calculations if you like, but was that a road to the right at the end of the flow? I wouldn't call it a road. It's more like a trail. But yes, definitely noticeable tire tracks. Vehicles have been down there quite a bit, or at least that's what I could see. And there were vehicles there. Looked like a fire or rescue truck right in front of the lava flow at the end, as well as some other vehicles along the sides. Now, I did look at some of the other video and videos, I should say, and that kind of showed the same thing, that there are people out there, but not as many as there used to be. I think they're trying to keep the tourists away a little bit. So, okay. I'm trying to read the screen at the same time here. Not so easy when you're trying to juggle a whole bunch of different windows all at the same time and get things going. 2 flowing in one time to that valley. Well, right now we're still filling up the original valley, and as you see there, Bob and Bob Jr. are still working away. But they do look like they have a reduced flow. Okay, so even if they are still at the 5 meter per second, or 5 cubic meters per second, I should say, if they're still doing that, it's not as visible. And it was actually yesterday early in the morning that they indicated that we now have about 6 million cubic meters of volume in that that valley where these original ones are. But it cooling and settling, that may have increased capacity a little bit. So you probably have about 1 million cubic meters left to go before it will start to look for higher ground. Yes, 6.4, I believe it was. Let me confirm that for you. That valley is 6.6 million cubic meters. My apology. And the new valley, Meridalar, or I don't know. I'm sorry if I botched that. But that one is the 44.7 million cubic meter capacity before it'll start to flow out. So I think because it's not pouring as much into the original one anymore, we're probably 4 or 5, maybe 7, 8 days before it'll start coming out of there. And if that other fissure keeps going the way it's producing, then we should, this guy here, then it should be coming up on some pretty decent viewing. It's going to create a big lava lake. It's going to take a long time to cool down. So, well, back to looking at the screen here. Questions. Does the valley have a name? The one that has a... Yes, it does. It does have a name, and that is... I will bring it up on the screen just so you can see it. It's the top one. And let me do some stuff here real quick. Okay, so if you're looking at the very top, Meridal Delair. Meridalair? Okay, 44.7 million cubic meter capacity. Hopefully that answers that. Um, okay. Delair. Okay. Meridalair. Anyway, that big one, it's going to take some time, a few months before it'll get actually get filled up. Um, okay. All right, Bill. That's okay. I don't speak Icelandic, so and I think it's an interesting language. It's a difficult language, but soon to be hidden valley. Yeah. Well, if you want to hide something in there, bury it down underneath there, about 5-10 feet of dirt, and in a good metal box, and they'll find it in 20 or 30,000 years as an archaeological dig somewhere, and it'll be lots of fun. Unfortunately, we won't be around, so maybe other fissures could open up. The new one surprised me. Yes, actually, the possibility of more opening up is there. Not going to say it's not, but the possibility of this turning off by tomorrow is also there. So, when we're looking at the capacities and everything, we're thinking, hey, this thing's going to flow for a while. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to keep going. It's like a shot in the dark. It could just switch off tomorrow, unfortunately. Just trying to find the right screen here. Which one I want? There. We'll go to that one. Okay, so, and that's right, Cindy. Only time will tell. And it's very, very interesting, though, to see how this thing is shaping up. And I certainly didn't expect for it to be, getting this big fissure and opening up and creating a new cone. Give it another week or two, it should be a fair size thing. It will probably continue to keep that lava river going, which should be all right. Anyway, I'm going to take a vocal break here for a few minutes, guys, and thanks for sticking around and listening to me. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet, by all means, please do so. I would appreciate that, and does help my ratings, as well as if you want to see more content, you can always subscribe if you like. Thank you for that. And I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll be switching through these, so if you see some random video pop up, it's okay. But I will show that aerial photography stuff again, and just let it run through and just do a brief overview again. So it is a very interesting video, and I will, like I said, post that link down below once I get the time. Once we finish the stream, it'll be there. So if you wanted to go watch it, you would be able to. Anyway, back in a few minutes, guys. Okay, I turned my microphone back on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And switching back over to cam 2, as they say. And it looks like Bob has picked up a little bit, and Bob Jr. as well. And possibly refilling some of that stuff that has settled from the looks of things on the right-hand side of that display, which is kind of cool. I hope that flow picks up again and really pours out. Oh, a hearing thumbs up. Okay, Doc Savage 1. All right, well, welcome, and thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. And okay, I was going to go back over that video, so give me a few seconds to get it queued back up here. And if I'm in the right spot, no, wrong one. Okay, that'll be this guy. And I will push it live and see what we can do. Okay, here it comes. So it looks really, really cool. So down in front we see the original volcano. Off to the left-hand side you see the new spout that's built up there in the fissure, and you can see the valley. So there's the spout, and then it's flowing down the valley to the northeast of where it is. If you note, there's some cars down in the foreground, 4 of them I see on kind of a dirt track there. Anyway, now it's over the fissure, and that's showing a pretty decent shot. I do like that. The aerial photography was fairly well done, although a little more elevation to show us the whole area would have been nice. But then again, I don't know what kind of restrictions they have there for height. You know, they may be at height limitation already, being up a little bit higher there on the mountains. And then again, now they're showing the original stuff again, the original volcano. And you can see how the lava bed has actually dropped quite a bit there. If you look at the edges of where the flow is, it looks much, much deeper. So definitely has dropped some as far as the volume, or cooled down a bit. Let's see. Well, it's going to keep going. We're going to move back into the other, as the video progresses, into the other portion of it. This is the one thing I was hoping this video would be a little bit more. There's a shot that you can actually see just about the entire thing. And you can see where it spewed out and then came down to the first landing, if you will, and then flowed down the next little valley, built up a little bit there, and or coulee if you want, and the stream continues down, way down into the other valley there. And I'm gonna blow the name again. Meladere. Oh boy, that's hard for me. I need to actually have somebody in front of me that speaks the language and can help me out with it. But anyway, that was the aerial footage. The link is now in my description down below the stream. So if you wanted to go look at that and give him a thumbs up for his video, it's definitely worthwhile in my opinion. And that was pretty much the whole video, or very close to it. So it's 2.5 minutes long. It's worthwhile for you to go have a look at later. But like I say, it is posted down below in the link, or sorry, in the description. The link is in the description. There we go. And we'll flip it back to the other one. And this is the other view. So now if you see on the top left there, that's our buddy Bob over there. Or at least that's what I think it is. And we know the right side here is the new one, and we could see that in the aerial footage. And the area down at the bottom is kind of the first landing that it landed on, and then it carried on out of that further down into the larger valley itself. So it's doing pretty good. More lava pools, yes. It's created a few of them. Let's see, just going back to see if there's any other questions, but I don't see any. That's fine. It's cool though to see this. I really enjoy watching this, and I think yesterday somebody had a question too when I was reviewing my video afterwards about, am I a geologist? And no, I am not a professional geologist. I am an amateur geologist. I do a lot of prospecting for gold and silver and other precious metals as a hobby, okay? And it's kind of a thing I like to do, right? Poke around in the dirt, and you'd be amazed what you find sometimes. Sometimes bigger chunks of gold than you think. And of course, looking for gold, everybody always says, ooh, well, there's gold coming out of that volcano. And not necessarily. Yes, there's gold in that lava, but how are you going to get it out of there? You're going to grind it all up, and you're going to go through a lot of work to try to recover what? What you want, if you're actually looking for gold, and I'm going to spill the beans here a little bit. If you're looking for gold in a volcano, what you need to do is you need to see or study a volcano that has, in its past, when it was cooling down, has had water introduced into it, or steam. And if it had steam as it's cooling and it got to about 600 degrees Celsius, your quartz would start to basically form inside that vent, right? And once the quartz is in there, basically what happens as it cools down, the gold particles, because gold likes gold, it attracts to itself, they come together inside this quartz mix as it cools down, and it creates sheets or fissures or cracks in there. And sometimes it can be completely embedded, solid chunk of quartz with say half a gram of gold right in the center of it, 6-inch diameter chunk of quartz. And it'd be very hard to even know it's in there, but you'd have to grind it up, right? But this is typically what you're looking for. This is your quartzes in the kimberlites, which are your dead volcanoes, the tube that still goes down. And that's where you want to be looking for the gold. At least that's where I go looking for it, and I'm not going to say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just going to say find your own volcano. Anyway, it is interesting seeing this. New fissure opened up right next to Bob. Oh, okay. When did this happen, Raptor Vulcan? Is that just very recent, a little while ago, or is that what we're seeing on the Cam 2? I just switched it back to the other one, and there's the area that's kind of, you see the lava flow out, and I thought it was those were the two separate ones from Bob, if you will. Bob Senior on the right hand side and Bob Junior on the left hand side here. These are the ones that I thought they were. I didn't think that there was anything new over there, but if there is, I'm all ears, Raptor. Please enlighten us, because that would be very interesting. A step up in activity is definitely something we're interested in here. Yes, Cindy, if you're looking at the other footage, yeah, I already switched to the direct one. Yes, it is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. That's what it's on. Very close to it. Matter of fact, I think it almost is dissected by it. You'd have to look on a geological map to see exactly where it is, but it's pretty darn close, if not right on it. Yeah. Yeah, the new one on the other side. It's going to take a while for it to build up yet, though, Harold, and welcome. Give it 2 or 3 days, and we'll see what happens, because it's really, really interesting, to see the differences in what we've got between the two eruptions. That new fissure is really a bonus for us, as watching this thing grow and develop. And like I had mentioned, the original valley there is pretty much filled up. It had a capacity of 6.6 million cubic meters, and as of yesterday, it was at 6 million cubic meters, roughly. So, and the cooling, I don't know, maybe there's some factor involved there with it cooling down and having a little bit more capacity yet for some more lava. But we'll see. In the next few days, you probably will see spillage out of the valley, and we'll be able to see which direction it wants to go. Now that fissure is open on that other side, that leaves a potential path that's already in existence, and I don't know how much high ground is in between that fissure and this original valley. I'm sure it's probably only a couple 300 yards or 300 meters or whatever, but it's still it's a little higher ground, so for it to push over is what we're looking for. Before it'll do that, it'll likely exit down in the south end of the valley there. And I'll go back to the map here for a second. So what? Okay. So right now we're looking at Bob from about where my little red X is. Okay, somewhere thereabouts. And the new fissure looks like it's back somewhere back here, going down this snaky path, something like that, or whatever it is. Maybe even there, like this. Something like that, if you can see my little scribbles on there. So if this guy is full over here, This guy is going to take 3 months, okay, if not more, to fill up, and then from there it can come back out and flow down into the next one. So it's like 1, 2, 3. That's the direction. So that's kind of where she's going, and I hope that's clear enough. And yes, it should be north up here. Okay, so if we're looking at Bob, as we call him, we're looking that way. We're actually looking south, or pretty close to it. Maybe a little southwest. Not 100% sure, but it's pretty darn close. Anyway, we'll flip back to the volcanoes here, and I'm glad to see a little more activity here, because earlier it was actually really down. Okay, somebody retracted a message. Okay, I missed what you said, but that's all right. Okay. No, the fissure is not moving towards the volcano, unless it is, and that's something I don't know about. But see, that whole area is basically underlined with different fissures, and the way the ground is put together, because it was, basically made out of volcanic material from years and years and years ago. So there was a lot of splitting and cracking and things like that as pressures increased, and turned some of that lava back into different types of rock and stuff, and pushing that silica back together. It's left a lot of cracks in the ground, okay, or fissures, if you want to call them that. And the potential for any of this, like if we have a direct access from the mantle pushing up against the crust, with the lava, it's going to turn around and seep its way through. And your whole area over there is pretty much perforated with cracks. So I hate to say it, but you're actually standing on top of a lava field. Mind you, it's not the same type of a thing where you have a huge dome underneath it, like if we go look at, say, Yellowstone as an example. And now that being, well, if that ever goes, that'll be a nightmare, but that has this huge buildup or dome underneath it, whereas this here is basically a tube shooting up, or a vent shooting up through all the cracks, and it's created a fairly decent flow, and it's just going to keep going. So anyway, I'm going to throw that aerial footage back on there for you guys for a second, and we'll let that play through. I did say that I wasn't going to be doing too long of a video. I'm already at the 1 hour mark. But anyway, foreground is our original volcano, and off to the left side there's the fissure and the stream going all the way down into the next valley, into Maradalair, if I said it right. And yes, you see some roads and stuff around the edges there. Nice venting. I'd like to see this in a few days. I'm sure it's going to build up a reasonable sized cone. But if the flow keeps coming out of it at the rate it's going, it may never really develop a huge cone of any type. unless it gets a blockage, right? So this is what we gotta look at. Now that swings back. Okay, the footage going back to the original volcanoes, and you can see the flow coming out of there, and it is still flowing pretty good. You notice the backside of Bob there is already turning color. It's not so dark anymore. It's not that black. More of the silica is starting to show, and your sand stuff. So it's kind of neat to see that. Pretty quick change when you get from one state to another. Anyway, there's another view of the fissure and the flow out into the other valley, with a few little pools that it stopped in and carried on. And the outflow down on the bottom there, of course, is going to take some time to fill that area up. It has a massive capacity of 44.7 million cubic meters. So 3 to 4 months for sure, if the flow rate continues the way it is, or picks up a little bit. Actually, it might have to do that. But time-wise, oh, hey, look, you can see a little vehicle. Anyway, time-wise is going to tell what happens, right? So we will see. Oh, okay. We're seeing some lava flow in the foreground here on this stream now. Now, I'm wondering if that's lava coming in from from the fissure, or if it's something coming back around. It almost looks like it's going to flow down into that little valley where the two meet. So the other, somebody was saying, okay, Cam 2 might go away due to a fissure flow. Okay, I get it, Cindy. All right, because we're seeing it right now. This is excellent. So, okay, there the fissure showing now. All right, yes, we definitely see it. And I wish I had a better aerial shot of it, but this is pretty cool. So this camera may end up burning up if they don't get it out of there. They may not be able to save it, depending on how the fissures are. But we'll see what happens. Oh, this could be interesting. I'd like to see that in the daytime. But wow. Surprise, surprise. Yes, Dog Savage, you're absolutely right. That's it's going to be pretty easy and just put the boots on and start going. But a lot of people have said that it's a heck of a hike. A couple hours to get over there or something. Anyway, fissure number 3, I don't know if we want to call it fissure number 3. It could be an extension of the other one, because that did kind of curve around, and other sites. Oh, okay, joining up. Okay, look at 3 other sites. Okay, joining up. All right. You hear sirens. Oh, that might be in the background here because I have my window open, and yes, there is noise outside. We are in a city, of course. So, okay, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I'm not going to be on too terribly long here anyway, so I will probably miss that going away. And I sure would like to see where the heck that fissure is actually opening up. If we go back to the map real quick, whoop, not that one. I wanted to go to, well, actually, I can clear that. So what I was originally saying, if we get my red going in here, so this valley down here, this is where the flow is going in that direction, but I think this, it's opened up along here, in this area, and it's flowing in that direction. So I hope I've got that right. Cindy, if you're watching, and you seem to be kind of knowledgeable about that, that's about where it's coming in, or getting close to the camera, if I'm correct. Okay, she's run away. Okay, maybe she'll answer right away. Anyway, I'm going to put it back onto the thing so we can actually see the camera burn. Yeah, it looks like it's flowing right down into that little valley. Yeah, it is moving. It is moving. It's going to fill that little area up. So that's the other day, is where the people were standing down there. I'm glad they're not there anymore, because they would definitely be having a problem right about now. Yeah, it definitely is pouring in. So it's going to pour in. It's going to go all the way along the edge, along the lower edge, where the guys have, you know, the two have met, or sorry, kind of confusing there. Where the original lava has flowed to, it's built up a crust and left a little gully all the way around. And this fissure, the flow from this, is now filling that little gully. Frizzle sticks. There's an R in there. Not fizzle sticks, but frizzle sticks. Okay. The scientist there. Yep. Okay. We're getting a thumbs up from Cindy. Okay. Oh, they're lightening it up. We're seeing more. This has turned beautiful. All right, so now you can actually see in the foreground. You can see how it's flowing down there. So it's a little bit better shot. I'm glad they did that. Lets in a little bit more light. Cam 3 or Cam 3. Okay, I'm not sure where Cam 3 is, but this is definitely looking pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely pouring in there, and coming, you know, not from Bob or Bob Jr. It's coming from the fissure. So, and that's actually flowing pretty darn good. So, I'm a thinking we're gonna have some fun here. By morning, that valley may be filling up really quickly. Pretty cool. Anyway, I am running over the amount of time that I originally wanted to spend on here, guys. And I will definitely be following this along. And I'm going to have to cut it short now, though, because I do have other things I need to do. I thank you all for stopping in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't given it a thumbs up yet, please do. Subscribe if you wish to see some more of this, and we will be streaming again tomorrow night. Just unsure of my start time due to the variance in work, and hopefully everybody has enjoyed this today, and we'll see what we can do for tomorrow's. definitely want to be hunting for some more angles here. If I can find that cam 3, because I certainly would love to. Anyway, guys, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for coming and having a look at the stream. Take care, everyone, and have yourselves a good evening, good morning, good night, or a good day, depending on where you are. So take care, and cheers for now.